Hey, Skull Nation, buckle up, because we've got some sizzling updates straight from the Minnesota Vikings training camp that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. I'm your passionate Vikings fan host, and today, we're diving into the latest injury news on key players like TJ Hockenson, Ryan Kelly, and Josh Metellus. Are these bumps in the road a cause for concern, or just part of the grind as we gear up for a monster 2025 season? Let's break it down with all the juicy details, straight from Coach Kevin O'Connell's presser. Ready to feel the purple pride? Let's roll into the heart of Vikings camp. The buzz around Egan is electric as the Vikings hit the ground running in training camp, but a few injury updates have fans like us holding our breath. Coach O'Connell dropped some news before Monday's annual night practice, and it's got us talking. TJ Hockenson, our star tight end, Ryan Kelly, the new anchor at center, and safety Josh Metellus are all sidelined for the night with what O'Connell calls day-to-day, normal training camp bumps and bruises. No major red flags, but when key players miss reps, you can't help but wonder, how does this impact our prep for Week 1? Stick with me as we unpack each player's status and what it means for our Vikings. So, what's the vibe in the comments? Are you pumped for the season, or a little nervous about these injuries? Drop your thoughts below, and let's get this skull chant going as we dive into the first of 15 segments packed with Vikings news. TJ Hockenson's absence from Monday's practice sent a ripple through Vikings Nation. After limping off the field Saturday with what looked like a lower body issue, O'Connell described it as a hip, leg, back, whatever you want to classify it as situation. Not exactly the clarity we crave, right? The good news? O'Connell's confident our Pro Bowl tight end will be back on the field this week, signaling this is more of a precaution than a crisis. Hockenson's a cornerstone of our passing game, hauling in 95 catches for 960 yards and 5 touchdowns in 2023 before his ACL injury last season. His return to form is critical for rookie QB J.J. McCarthy, who's been slinging it to him in camp. The team's cautious approach makes sense. Hockenson's still recovering from that major knee surgery, and with a grueling 17-game season ahead, preserving his health is priority number one. But that limp? Yeah, it's got us all watching closely. What do you think, Skull fans? Is Hockenson's minor setback just a blip, or should we be worried about his durability? Hit the comments and let's debate as we keep the Vikings fire burning. Let's talk about the signing of veteran tight end Nick Vannett, because it's raising some eyebrows. O'Connell was quick to clarify that this move isn't tied to Hockenson's injury, but rather to rookie TE Gavin Bartholomew's ongoing back issues. Bartholomew, a 6th-round pick, is still on the PUP list, leaving our tight end depth a bit shaky. Vannett, a journeyman with 90 career catches, brings experience to the room, but he's not exactly lighting up the stat sheet. This move screams depth insurance, especially with Bartholomew's recovery timeline uncertain. The Vikings clearly want a reliable veteran to step up while our young guys heal. It's a smart play, but it also reminds us how thin the margins are at tight end. Without Hockenson at full strength, guys like Vannett, Ben Urosek, and Giovanni Ricci might see more first-team reps than expected. Skull Nation, are you feeling good about Vannett stepping in? Or do we need more firepower at tight end? Drop your take below, and let's keep the conversation rolling as we dig deeper into camp. Now, let's shift to the big man in the middle, Ryan Kelly, our new starting center. O'Connell revealed Kelly's dealing with an elbow thing. Got a little stretched out the wrong way. Sounds like a classic training camp tweak. But anytime the anchor of our O-line is banged up, it's worth a pause. Kelly's one of 3 new starters on the offensive line, alongside right guard Will Fries and left guard Donovan Jackson, tasked with protecting J.J. McCarthy in his debut season. The good news? O'Connell's optimistic, saying Kelly will be fine. That's music to our ears, because a healthy O-line is the backbone of our run-heavy scheme with Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. Kelly's experience, he started all 17 games for the Colts in 2024, makes him a critical piece for syncing up our offense. A stretched elbow isn't ideal, but if he's back soon, we're in good shape. What's your confidence level in our O-line, Vikings fans? Can Kelly shake this off and dominate? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep the Skull spirit alive. Josh Metellus, our do-it-all safety, is another name on the injury list, nursing a minor ankle-foot issue. O'Connell downplayed it, noting Metellus has almost no limitations and just needs a couple of days to let the soreness settle. This guy's a Swiss Army knife. Last season, he racked up 103 tackles, 2 interceptions, and played 12 different positions, from safety to linebacker to defensive end. Talk about versatility. Metellus' 3-year, $36 million extension signed last week shows how much the Vikings value his leadership and playmaking. With 991 defensive snaps in 2024, he's a cornerstone of Brian Flores' aggressive defense. Sitting out Monday's practice is likely just load management, but we need him healthy to keep our secondary elite. Theo Jackson and Jay Ward are stepping up in his absence, but Metellus is irreplaceable. Skull Nation, how big is Metellus to our defense? Are you hyped for his return? Drop your thoughts below, and let's keep the Vikings hype train chugging. Let's zoom out for a second and talk about the bigger picture. Alongside Hockenson, Kelly, and Metellus, veterans Harrison Smith and Jonathan Allen also got planned rest days Monday. This screams strategic load management from O'Connell, making sure our key pieces are fresh for the regular season. Smith, a 36-year-old safety legend, and Allen, a dominant D-tackle, are critical to our Super Bowl aspirations. The Vikings' 2024 season saw them go 14-3, leaning on a top-tier defense and explosive offensive weapons like Justin Jefferson. But with a tougher 2025 schedule, including international games against the Steelers in Dublin and Browns in London, keeping our stars healthy is non-negotiable. These rest days show O'Connell's playing the long game, but it also means younger guys get a chance to shine. What do you think, fans? Is O'Connell's cautious approach the right call, or should we push our starters harder in camp? Hit the comments and let's talk strategy. Speaking of younger guys, let's shine a light on the backups getting first-team reps. With Hockenson, Kelly, and Metellus out, tight ends Ben Urosek, Giovanni Ricci, and Nick Vannett, plus safeties Theo Jackson and Jay Ward, and center Michael Juergens are stepping into the spotlight. This is their chance to prove they belong, especially with the preseason opener against the Texans looming Saturday. Juergens, a 2024 draft pick, could be a sneaky important piece if Kelly's elbow issue lingers. Meanwhile, Jackson and Ward are battling for depth roles in a stacked secondary. These reps are gold for building chemistry and confidence, but they also highlight how critical our starters are. A strong showing here could shake up the depth chart. Talk about high stakes. Skull fans, who's your breakout candidate from this group? Drop a name in the comments and tell us why they're about to steal the show. Let's circle back to TJ Hockenson, because there's a bit more to unpack. O'Connell's vagueness about the injury, calling it a hip, leg, back issue, has some fans nervous. He even joked about not being able to pronounce the medical terms from VP of Player Health, Tyler Williams. But the key takeaway: Hockenson's expected to practice this week, which is huge for a guy who's been grinding through rehab since his ACL and MCL tears in 2023. Hockenson's grit is undeniable. He was spotted limping Saturday but still tried to push through before shutting it down. That's the kind of warrior mentality we love in Vikings Nation. With J.J. McCarthy leaning on him in 7-on-7 drills, their chemistry is already clicking. Hockenson caught multiple passes in tight coverage during camp. We need that connection firing on all cylinders. What's your take, Skull Nation? Is Hockenson's toughness giving you confidence? Or are you worried about his recovery? Let's hear it in the comments. Ryan Kelly's elbow tweak is another storyline to watch. O'Connell's confidence that he'll be fine is reassuring, but an injury to the center, especially a new starter, is no small thing. Kelly's job is to snap the ball cleanly to McCarthy and anchor an O-line that's got big shoes to fill after adding 3 new starters. His 2024 performance with the Colts, 200-plus snaps, 85.6 PFF grade, shows he's up to the task. The Vikings' offense is built around balance, pounding the rock with Aaron Jones and airing it out to Jefferson and Hockenson. Kelly's health is critical to making that work. If he's back soon, we're golden, but Juergens getting first-team reps is a reminder that depth matters. Training camp is all about ironing out these kinks, but we're watching closely. Skull fans, how crucial is Kelly to our O-line? Drop your thoughts below, and let's keep the purple pride roaring. Josh Metellus' ankle soreness might be the least concerning of the bunch, but it's still worth a look. O'Connell's comments about his almost no limitations status suggest Metellus is close to 100%. This dude's a beast. His 103 tackles and 2 picks last season came while playing everywhere from safety to linebacker to D-end. That versatility is Brian Flores' secret weapon. Metellus' new $36 million deal locks him in as a leader for this defense, which ranked top 5 in points allowed last year. His ability to cover tight ends like Christian McCaffrey or big slot receivers makes our secondary a nightmare for opponents. A couple of rest days to shake off the soreness? Smart move, but we can't wait to see him back wreaking havoc. What's your favorite Metellus moment, Vikings fans? Share it in the comments, and let's celebrate our defensive dynamo. Let's talk about the bigger injury context. The Vikings battled the injury bug hard last season. Hockenson's ACL, Jefferson's hamstring, Derisaw's knee. O'Connell's cautious approach with these bumps and bruises shows he's learned from that. With a deep roster and high expectations, analysts are projecting 10 to 11 wins. Managing player health is critical to chasing that Lombardi trophy. The signing of Vanett, rest days for Smith and Allen, and extra reps for backups all point to a team preparing for the long haul. Training camp is a grind, and these minor setbacks are par for the course. But with a tough schedule ahead, including a Week 1 clash with the Bears, we need our stars ready to roll. Skull Nation, are you buying O'Connell's optimism, or is the injury bug making you nervous? Hit the comments and let's talk it out. The preseason opener against the Texans is just days away, and all eyes are on J.J. McCarthy. O'Connell confirmed our rookie QB will play Saturday, which is huge for his development. With Hockenson, Kelly, and Metellus likely sitting, we'll get a look at how our depth players handle the spotlight. McCarthy's been slinging it in camp, 61 miles per hour throws at the combine, anyone. And his chemistry with Hockenson and Jefferson is promising. This game is a chance to see how the offense gels without key starters. Will Vanett step up at tight end? Can Juergens hold it down at center? And how will our backup safeties fare? These are the moments that shape the depth chart. And for a team with Super Bowl dreams, every rep counts. What are you most excited to see in the preseason opener? Fans, drop your predictions below, and let's get hyped for some Vikings football. Let's not forget the defense, because Brian Flores' unit is a beast. Even with Metellus and Smith out Monday, guys like Jeff Okudah and Isaiah Rodgers are stepping up in the secondary. Metellus praised the new additions, saying he's building chemistry with them in camp. Last season's 43 sacks and 22 interceptions show this D is no joke, and they're only getting deeper. The rest days for Smith and Allen are a reminder of how stacked we are. Smith's still a ball hawk at 36, and Allen's a run-stuffing monster. With Metellus' versatility and young guys like Zemea Vaughn flashing, this defense could be even scarier in 2025. But injuries, even minor ones, keep us on edge. Skull fans, how confident are you in our defense? Who's your X factor for 2025? Share in the comments and keep the purple passion alive. As we wrap up, let's look at the road ahead. The Vikings international games, Week 4 versus Steelers in Dublin and Week 5 versus Browns in London, are massive tests. With Hockenson, Kelly, and Metellus expected back soon, the focus is on building depth and staying healthy. O'Connell's preaching patience, but the clock's ticking towards September 8 teaches opener against the Bears. This training camp is about fine-tuning a roster that's got all the pieces: elite QB, star receivers, a nasty defense. These bumps and bruises are just part of the process, but they're a reminder of how fragile success can be. Vikings Nation, we're in this together, chasing that first Super Bowl. Let's stay locked in. What's your biggest takeaway from these injury updates? Skull fans, drop it below, and let's keep the hype alive as we march toward the season. Skull Nation, what a ride! These injury updates have us on edge, but the Vikings' depth and O'Connell's confidence keep the purple fire burning. From Hockenson's grit to Metellus' versatility and Kelly's steady presence, we're building something special in Egan. If you're as pumped as I am, smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more Vikings news. Share this with your fellow fans, and let's keep the Skull chant loud and proud. Until next time, Skol Vikings.